and saying that the reporting was incorrect. I just want to get your reaction to his statements and to share what you know about this developing story.
Well, look, I think the Biden administration and the secretary have a credibility problem with the American people, right? They told us for years that the border was closed and the border was secure. So I think there's an issue that maybe perhaps the American people don't believe what the secretary is saying. But if he has data, if he has facts that shows that that reporting is inaccurate, I think it's incumbent upon him to share that with the American people. Members of Congress are still trying to get facts on the 8 Tajikistan nationals that were released into the country, and they still don't have that information. The department does. The department should be sharing that with congressional oversight members. So there's a credibility problem here. But again, if there are facts that he is aware of where that reporting is inaccurate, I think that's good to share with the American people, because the American people right now are concerned, as they should be, because almost every day we hear about either ISIS or al-Qaeda infiltrating that southern border, coming across, being released into the United States, only to be picked up at a later date. And the American people are wondering, what kind of vetting are we doing? And where are they going? How long have they been here? And what are they doing once they are here in the United States? So I think there's definitely some cause for concern.
Chad, the numbers, according to our Sarah Williamson, 2023, 169 potential people with terrorist ties. Already this year, 80, so we're right on that track. You would know better than most. Do these groups like ISIS-K, and there we can see the numbers again, do they have the capabilities to get inside the United States? I don't want to scare the American public, but I think we have a right to know. And do you think they would plan to exploit it?
Yeah, absolutely. They have the ability and the capability to get into the United States, and right now it appears as though they're using the southern border. And when you have thousands of folks coming across that border every single day, Border Patrol law enforcement officers aren't able to sift through that. They're simply processing them as quickly as possible. So you look at just the 8 Tajikistan individuals who have an ISIS connection of some kind being released into the American communities. I mean, that is evidence. Luckily, they have been picked up. But the question is, how many more remain here? How many more are in the got-away number that never see a law enforcement officer? And so this idea to say that we are secure, it belies reality and the pictures that we see and the numbers that we are seeing coming across that border. I'll give you one last number, and that's the number of known watch list individuals that the Biden administration has picked up along that border in 3.5 years. It's over 360. Over 360 individuals have tried to cross that border illegally, and those are just the ones we know about. If you contrast that with all 4 years of the Trump administration, it was 16.
Chad, as a former acting Secretary for Homeland Security, say you get a report like this or similar to this. What is the first thing that you do in that role? And what is the first thing then that the sitting president should do?
Well, I think it would tell you that there's a problem with the vetting. There's a problem with the information that Border Patrol officials are using to allow individuals into the country. So I think you've got to, that's the root of the cause, right? So as individuals come across and Border Patrol are pinging U.S. databases, or they're asking for information from those home countries, and sometimes they're not getting information, and the information they get is inaccurate or incomplete, and they're basing a very important decision off of incomplete information. So I think you've got to relook and reimagine how we vet individuals from very far away countries, such as Tajikistan, who don't have great relations with the United States and don't have great information to share.
It's very possible that in November that this could be the beginning of the end of the Joe Biden presidency. These terrorist groups, they look for opportunities. As you just mentioned, This is not a small journey in between our two countries, and they're clear on the other side of the world. So are they seeing this as like, maybe this is our last chance? If President Trump gets in, it's going to be closed down. We're going to be watched. So they're trying to, get ahead of the ball here.
Yeah, I think there's some element of that. I think if you just look back to 2017, when President Trump was his first couple of months in office, and those numbers plummeted. They plummeted into all-time lows because the smugglers and the traffickers didn't know what the enforcement posture was going to be like. So I suspect you'll see that again, and you may even see an increase in if these are the final months of the Biden administration, you are likely going to see an increase of individuals, probably in that got-away number, though. That's the number we continue to see rise, as well as the number of individuals pushed through ports of entry is also on the rise as well.
Secretary Chad Wolf, always appreciate you coming on. Stop back soon.
Thank you.